tutorial for, yeah, okay. Well, we're going to essentially do a tutorial for learning about the libraries that will be useful for us in this course in the context of business intelligence and data science. But before we start, let me make a couple of quick announcements. I've posted them in the chat. So first of all, don't forget that quiz 1 is due tonight on Canvas. So please complete it if you haven't already. It's due at 11:59 p.m. And then second, please also finalize your teams for the group research project. I think most of you have done it already, but I think some of you still need to either sign up or find a group by tonight and then sign up on the sheet. I've put the link for the sign up sheet on Canvas, sorry, on the group, on the chat on Zoom, so you can access it there, but it's also on Canvas. And of course, if you're having trouble finding a group or you're not able to find groups, you can email me and then I will help you out. Okay. And for today, yes, so today will be, like I said before, we'll be focusing on like a very practical session where we learn about the Python libraries actually that will be useful for us for this class. So your TA, David, Zhangbo, Cheng, will be sort of walking you through the tutorial. You have access to the instructions for the tutorial are posted on Canvas. But essentially, and let me share my screen maybe so you can see. Yeah, right. So the tutorial today will work as follows. You're going to be working on a notebook together with David, right? And you can access this notebook directly here through the link on Canvas. It's under module 2, right? So you'll find that there. So what I want you to do is, first of all, you'll see that the link I gave you is for a non-editable, in some sense, version of the notebook. So please make a copy, copy to drive, click on copy to drive, make a copy on your own drive first so that you can edit it. And then during the session, David will walk you essentially through the notebook. So it will be a bit of a detailed explanation of all these Python libraries that are going to be useful for us, what functions are useful for us, and he will show you what you can do with these Python libraries. So it will be very practical. For some of you, there'll be a bit of review at the beginning, but then there will be probably new libraries and new capabilities that you'll learn about. So, if it's a little bit boring in the beginning, that's normal. It will get interesting as you keep going, all right? So the important thing as well to note is that the notebook contains a few coding exercises. So David will give you some explanations. He'll show you some code and how it works. But then after each section, there will be exercises. David will give you some time, and then you can complete the exercises on your own. And what you're expected to do is just follow along, run the code cells from the notebook. And then, of course, once you've completed each section, once David has gone through each section, just complete the exercises on your own, basically. And if you have questions during this time, of course, David will be here and you can obviously ask him questions on Zoom, or as we've done before, you can ask him questions through the chat and he will answer, right? What's important to note as well is at the end of the session today, so by 9 p.m., we're expecting you to complete the notebook and then upload your completed notebook on Canvas through this submission link. So you'll see there's this in-class assignment that I've posted on Canvas, and here you will upload your completed notebook from today's session. All right. So one thing to note is that the assignment is not going to count towards your final grade. So it's not going to be graded as such, but it will be graded for completion and it will count towards your participation grade. Remember, your grade for this class is, I think, 10% participation. So that's why you have to submit it to show that you participated in the tutorial. Okay. And that's about it for today. So before I actually pass on the floor to David, let me ask, are there any questions from anybody right now? You can write in the chat or you can obviously unmute yourself and ask the question. Do you have any questions about the logistics for today? First of all, I mean, let me make sure, you know, are people hearing me actually right now? Yeah, okay, yeah, great. So thank you. Okay, perfect. And of course, as usual, if you're able to turn on your videos, please, I encourage you to do so. It will become more interactive. It's helpful for us as instructors to see that you're there. So please do that. Okay, so if there's no questions, then let me introduce David to you guys. So David is your TA for the class. He's an alumni actually from the Carey Business School. Very experienced, person, very accomplished person in the topic of this class, data science and business intelligence. So he's taken this class in the past, and of course he's done very well. Now he's currently working, I believe, on some sort of on in a role where he uses a lot of the data science skills that he developed in the business school, in the program, and especially in this class. So I think, you guys are lucky to have him today. I'm sure he'll do a much better job than I would do at explaining to you the programming. He's got lots of experience with that. So with that, David, yeah, please go ahead, take over, and show them what you've got, basically.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Okay, I will take the class. And hi, everyone. This is my first time to see you guys, and I'm your TA. So shall we start? Can everyone open the link for the student version for our today's topic? If you can open or have any question, please send me a message or send anything in the chat. So so everyone can open the file. Okay, I assume everyone have no problem about their Google account and have no any question about the collab. I think you have the experience about use the collab before, so you just simply to make a copy and yeah, just save a copy in your own drive and to make some editing because we have to submit the complete version by yourself in the ending of the section. So what are we gonna to cover today? Basically, have four parts. And the first part is some basic Python's knowledge, including the data type and some different control flow functions. And the second part is NumPy, which is really classic library in Python. And I believe you guys have heard this before. And also the pandas is not about the animal, it's about the package and it's mainly about how to doing something related to the real situation like data cleaning and the um, feature engineering. And the last part, we will move on to the data virtualization. I think you have another course is also related to the virtualization. But now in this class, we will quickly to go over some basic package and basic library and to help you get some feeling about the um, library. So shall we start? Okay. Okay. So the first part we will talking about the printing and the variable. That's super basic and really intro level. So basically you can see I write down the print right here, which means like less than Python know like what do we want to say, and we just simply to type in the bracket and use the code single coder to write down anything you want. And like the first things everyone learn Python will write down like a hello world or hello, and then just come out hello. So super directly, and let's move to the next one. You will be find you say I write down programming with Python is easy. The actually just want to let you see that one. It have no any function. If you see the symbol, just means make a note, just an annotation. just is used to explaining, no, just like they don't have any function. So basically, I make some. You will see a lot of the annotation in the later, and I just want to have some explanation if I can not speak explain really well, so that you at least have some knowledge about that. So basically, the first one is also use what I just mentioned, just printing the hello. You can see the output is hello right here. And then now right here, we actually define a variable is called my number, which means variable is like you can say shipping box. We have a box and we put the tag. The tag is my number, and then we put a 100 inside. The number 100 inside the you can say the shipping box. And we print my number, which means we want the computer to say what is the box inside. Then the coming out is 100 is a number. So that's basically we just learn about what is the variable. And now we will move on to some basic data type and the math. So it's extremely easy to define variable and assign value to them in Python. Like right here, I like define variable x to number 3, and I use the type. Type this means like a scanner to let me know what's the inside in the box. Right now, it will say int, which means integer. And they also have many different types data in Python. They have numbers, they have balloons, strings, list, and dictionaries. So we just see the integer. Now we move on to the floating number. It will be more general use. Right now, so basically floating number is just like some number have like a 2.1, 2.3, these kind of things. And and you see the word right here, we define the add between the single quarter is actually the string, which means we'll learn more about that in the later. And now we print the x plus y simple, super simple. Just print out the result is 5.1, which is 3 plus 2.1. So yeah, that's super straightforward. And is also we also can adding the variable together. We define the variable result to x plus y. Then we're printing the result. You also have the same ways. Yeah, please feel free to type your question in the chat. Yeah, I know everyone have different background. Maybe someone never heard this before, but no worry, we will figure out. So also the Python have some elementary mathematical operation as follow, like plus, add together, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And you super straightforward, just like that. Um, so basically, now we move on to the balloons. So now it's more likely maybe the most simple and the most important type because you only have two status, true and false. So it's like a light, is turn off or turn on. And now the first one is a logical AND, which means if the both side is true, then the output will be the true. If not, like here, A, we define A is true and B is false. So B is false, and in an situation, it will come out false because one of them is false. So now the second one is logical or, which means one side is true, then the output will be true. And the third one is the not, which means turn true to false and to turn the false to true. Now we define A is true, not A, which means it's false. So the output is false. Okay, now is unequal. So if the A and B is unequal, then will come out true. So as we know that right here, the A is true and B is false. Obviously, they are unequal. So they will output true. You may not have any sense about what we're gonna do later, but just have some feeling about the balloons now. Okay, so now we move on to the how we handle the strings, like we mentioned before. Now we define the s to the string hello. So there are a couple different ways is you can use in the Python. So simply normally if you're handling some real data, the text maybe is kind of dirty and messy, and the Python have a certain way to handle it. The first one capitalized just to put the first letter in the capitalized, and also you can use the upper. Upper is like all the um so put the whole word into to the capitalized, and the replace, which just replace all the intents of the one subtracting with another. You can see right here we replace L to the 12 ELL, and you see every place have the L is turned to the 12 ELL, right? 12 ELL, and the so you also if you put some space in the string, it also will come out have the some space, and yeah, and also you can have the strap leading and the trailing white space. So basically that's all about the string. So then we will move on to the list. So list will be more interesting. It's like so it's like a box have multiple place, and you can put all a list of number together. But now you need to remember in Python, the number is actually start from zero, which means zero is the first one. Like right here, we create a list 3, 0, 3, 1, 2, 6. Actually, the first one, which is index zero, is 3. Yeah, you can also like print the numbers and you will come out the list. And also you can ask the right here is called you say what the first letter in the list numbers, what the data type it is, and it's an integer, so it come out integer. And you can see right here is the first one 3 is actually 0, right? First element have the index 0, so it's kind of different with some normal ways. And the second one, the negative indicates count from the end of the list. So which means the -2 is actually is 2. So it actually count from the end of the list. So the first one is 6, the second one, the -1 is 6, the -2 is actually 2. So right here the output will be 2. Also, the list can be contains elements of different type. We can replace the second element. Actually, yeah, third element, the third element to 4, and so you see we change the third one to in the list to 4. The output will change, and also we can add a new element to the end of the list. So we know they have like a 4 element, so we add a new one to the list. We just simply add 5, and it will be the end of the list 5. So you see the list now is changed to 3, 1, 4, 6, 5. So now right here we'll to show you some slicing ways. This actually will be used in if you want to handling large amount of data. It's like a cut of the list in certain range. So right now we define the numbers is list range 10. So the range is actually the built-in function that create a list of integer. You can see is count from 0 to 9. So we define the number is right here, and then we print out the numbers is the first one, and then we want to get a slice from index 2 to 4, and it won't come out the index 4. It only will print like a index 2 to 3. So that index, so it's gonna be so as we know, index 2 is actually is right here. the third one, and it won't come out the fifth one, so it only will come out two and three. So you can see right here. Also, you can get a slice from index to the end. Just show like this, and it will start from the second one, which is this one. The third one is two, and to the end is to the nine. And you also can get a slice from the start to the index to print. So also it will include two, so it will only come out 0 and 1. Also, you can also just simply to do not type anything, just type a symbol for the slicing, and you can get a slice of the whole list. So also you don't not only you can just put the positive number, you also can put some negative number, like a -1 is actually the slice indicate can be print out the 0, 1, 2, 3. So and also you can also assign a new sublist to the slice. Like you want to add like from 2 to 4, which is index 3, the third one to the first one, and assign to 8 and 9, and you can then print. You can see the third one is changed to the 8, and the fifth one then to 9. So that's all about the slicing right here, and um now we can also to talk about you not only just put the number in the list, you also can put some elements in the list like a cat, dog, monkey, horse, this kind of string. And once you print, it also will come out the list include the elements. Now we can move on to the dictionary. So dictionary actually is store pair of keys and value, and also beginning we can create a list. Then we can create a new dictionary with some data. Now we define the cat to the cute and define the dog to the furry. Once we want to print out the cat, which means we get an entry from the dictionary what we just define cute, then it will come out the cute. You also can easily to add to the dictionary, like right here we define the fish to wet, and the print the fish also will come out the wet, and you can simply just type in the D, it will come out all the dictionary. This one it will just define right here, and this one we just added. So that is the dictionary. And now we will to move on the first loop you mentioned in this class. It's called a for loop. So basically, we just like to go over everyone in the dictionary. Now we define a new dictionary. Person is 2, cat is 4, spider is 8. And for the items in the items, which means each items in the dictionary, we will do two things. The first thing is print the item. The second thing is we add a, which is string, add the item 0 and has string. We change the item 1 index equal to 1 to the string and add legs. So now we put the first one, the print the item is person 2, which the come out the second move will be the person have 2 legs. And then is already have finished the first turn, and will have the second turn, which is the cat. So the print the cat 4 right here, and the second one is a cat have 4 legs. Then we'll do the last one. Last loop is the spider 8. So the first things will come out is byte 8, the item right here, and then the second one will be a spider have 8 legs. So basically, that's the for loop what they are doing. Okay, so now we are moving to the function. Basically, we are move. You can say the function we actually to build up a automation factory. Now we like right here we define these signs. We define the function the is positive. Then we have the details right here. Say if x more than 0, then return true. Now, right here, we use our function what just defined. If the x more than 0, and then we put 1 inside, and obviously 1 is more than 0, so it will return true. Now, we will have the sign function, like if x more than 0, return positive, x less than 0 will return negative, and if the x equal to 0, then return 0. So now we create a list of numbers. The first one is negative 30, and the second one is 1, the third one is 2, and the last one is 0. And we use the for loops to go over every element in the list, in the numbers. We will print out the sign. The sign is what we just made the function. So the first one will be the negative 30. So obviously is less than 0, will come out the negative. And the second one is 1.0, which is more than 0, is positive. So it come out positive. And the third one is 2.0. Well, so it's more than 0 and also come out the positive. And then now the last one is 0, which is equal to 0. So it will return 0. So now we want to do a quick question. So now I will give you a following Python code right here. I already defined the XYZ and ABC. And so now please write down, identify the data type and the variable XYZ and the A, B, and C, and explain how you would add the variable X to the Y together and concatenate the string Z with the first is found, and also assess the second element of the list B, and retire the value associated with the key name in the dictionary. I will leave 5 minutes right here to you can go over the question, write down in the answer area. And during this time, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. Okay, let's go over the question. Okay, so the first one is to identify the data type. It's super straightforward. Just put print the data type, the function right here, and it's built in, so it's super easy to use. Uh, type X, type Y, type Z, ABC can then it will tell me what the data type it is. You see, so basically the first one, just you if you have the type, then it's fine. So second one is actually want you to do the operation, which is adding. Um, now you want to add the variable x, y, z, x, and y. You can put them in the result variable, and we define the x is equal to 5, and the y is 3.2. So just simply to print the result, then you will come out x plus y equal to the 8.2. So I just want to see this one. So the third one is to calculate the z is fun. So is also you can have a new variable and define z add is fun because z is string right here. So basically add right here is just connecting together and then you print out the result, then it will come out data science is fun. So this one and the next is to assess the second element of the list B. So now I want to say, so basically I just want to let you know, the second one is because the Python in the index is start from the zero, so zero is the first element. So the index one, it will be the list in the second one. So you can see, is two, which is this one. So you will write down one right here. So it's kind of confusing. So the last one basically just want you guys to write down retire the value associated with the key name in the dictionary C. Basically just put a new variable and to call the dictionary and put down the name which is we define the name is Alice, right? And then print out is Alice. So that's all. That's all about what I expect the answer. So now we will move on to the NumPy area. Okay, so NumPy area is basically is one of the most used Python library for scientific computing. It provides a lot of useful tools to handle data operation. And to use the NumPy, we first need to import the NumPy package. So basically, just import NumPy, and you see right here, I say SNP, which means NumPy is a external package. We want them inside our code, and for the future we want to use them, we just call them as NP, which is easy for us to type. And now we use the NP arrays to create a tuple, and you can imagine it's like one row in the Excel, and now we print out the A, which just simply to print the what we just made 1, 2, 3, and we want to see yeah. Then we can ask the type, and also we then also can print it will print the dimension of the A, and as we see the dimension is one, which means it's a one dimension. Okay, so and the shape, A shape, which means um to you have a ruler to measure the size of the table. It will tell you how many shape inside, and also the for loop is really similar what we done before. Just print out the each element in the what did we just call the array. Well, so it will come out one, then come out two, then come out three. It will seem what we done before the for loop. Now we have more code right here. So we put 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 inside the list. And now the NumPy change is actually to be a two-dimension table. 1, 2, 3 is the first row, and the 4, 5, 6 is second row. And now we print out B. We just also simply just come out that one, and you also can print out the B10, which means the print out the first element of the B, and it means like we firstly to find out the second, because as we know, the Python the index is start from 0, so the one is actually the second one is right here, and the second row, the first column is 4, so come out will be the 4. And now we can is like we put 2 for loop inside. You also I think mentioned before. Basically, so for the outside is row in B, and for the inside is like 4 elements in the row. So for outside row in the B, obviously the first one it will be the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And each element in the row, the first one will be the 1. And the second one in the first row is 2, and the third one in the first row is 3, and let's go on will come out the second row. The first one is 4, and the second one is 5, and the third one is 6 in the second row. So that's about the 2 for loop. And yeah, this also just tell you the data type is you can say come out the NumPy, non-dairy, and also tell you the shape. Have like a 2 row, 3 columns. Now we move on to array generation. So basically, when once you have something relate to the data analyst and or AI project, normally we want to have a space table to occupy the space. So the NumPy provide a really convenient, you can say like a array generation. So right here the NumPy 0, which means to generate a 6 row turn column and all is 0 table. You see right here, I just simply to print down A it will be look like this one. And this and for the second one, so for the second one, you also is 2 for loop, and to assign a new value to the element for array. So basically, it's like a first one add second one, and to define to a new one. So we will talk about this one more in the later section. Now we will now the B one, this one is means like a create a array of all ones, and you will print out like this one. And also we define a new C with which array of the all certain values, like a turn, and also 2 and 3 means like a 2 row, 3 column, and all the number is 10, so it look like this one. Yeah. So for this one is we want to create an array filled with random value. So we use a random function right here, and print out the E, and then we will come out a really random variable. So this one you might use in the maybe some machine learning project, but you will figure out. So now we will to go the 2-dimension slicing. So this is might be really practical. Once we handling the Excel table, sometimes we just need to certain row or certain columns, like here, like this one. So this actually is also a divide, which left side, which means certain row, and which means from the star to the second row, not include the second row, which is index 0 and the index 1 row. And the right side is certain column, and it means index 1, 2, 3 nodes include the 3. So now we will cut the table we need. So you can see the A is actually like that one. And the B, we do the slicing move, right? We cut to, we want the, so you can see B is only include 2, 3, 6, 7, which is we define right here. It tells us which column and which row we need. Then also you can print the certain like still the I want the row 0 column 1, so it will come out 2, this one. Yeah, so it will appear right here, print out right here. And also we have lots of basic mathematic operation. So normally now you can see the difference between the NumPy and the Python building normal list or mathematical operation. If you directly write down x plus y, it might have error, or you will combine them like a two string. But in NumPy, it will automatically getting the correlated place to calculate. Like especially let's make an example. So we define x right here is look like that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the y is 5, 6, 7, 8. And now if we just want to add them, x plus y, you will see they will be added in the correlated place. And also you can use the NumPy add, also is same, is same move, and also can do the subtraction directly just x minus 1, and you will just delete in the correlated place. And also the element towards product is same, is also simply just write down really simple, and also the division is also, and they actually show the same things. Even the square root, even the NumPy point squared is also the same. So, and also right here, the transpose is just like a turn 1, 2, 3, 4 to the like a you can say turn column side to the row side. So just transpose them. Yeah. And how they show it is just like that. Yeah. Now we move on to a kind of a little bit advanced vector and a matrix math. So now here is kind of related to the linear algebra, but no worry, they if you don't know, you can ask maybe some AI tool later related to the linear algebra. Basically, basically, you also just want to show you how calculate the inner product of a vector and the matrix mute right here, and also right here, um, normally in the AI area, like a neural network or some complicated models in finance, basically use this kind of function to do the calculation, especially right for this one is really common, which this one means like I want all, and the zero, which means I just want like the index 0. So once combine this thing, we can to make a closed loop. So first one, simply we just define the array like a 5, 6, 7, 8, and we want to we want the first column of the Y. So just I want them all but the index 0. So it's a 5, 6. You see 5, 6. And then now we do a for loop and we want them like a add. So basically this one is want to add them in range 2 and it will automation to calculate the function right here and then you can print simply to print out the result right here. So now we move on to the NumPy question. Now we also still input the NumPy as NP and also I define an array right here. And now try to reshape the array into two multiple 5 matrix and also calculate the mean of the each row into a reshape matrix and also extract the second column of the matrix and create a new array that contains only even number from original array. So like I still will give you like 5 minutes.
David, did you say we're at question 2?
Yeah, doing the question too. Yeah.
Okay. Is it just right around 164 where you're at there?
What do you mean 164?
Um, the line of code there. My
Oh,
my
yeah.
Colab's just
Yeah,
running really slow,
yeah.
so it's taking forever to get there.
Uh, okay. 165. Yeah, you can maybe you can just run this one like a restart window and then you restart a copy and connect to the you can click here to connect it and just run here because I know maybe some of you guys maybe didn't run the previous one but no worry you can just run here have the enough background to write down the question. Yeah, just input the numpy and define the area. I already write down right here. Just run this one and then write down your answer in the answer area. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so let's keep going to go over the question 2. The first one is the reshape the array into two multiple 5 matrix, which we just use the reshape is building the NumPy like the original one. We can see the length is 10, and then we enforce to fold it into a 2-row 5 columns 2 division matrix. So it will appear right here like this one. Then we will calculate the mean of each row. So still we use the NumPy's mean and to put the reshape area right here. And right here we define the xi is 1, which means like xi 1 means we calculate by row. And also have the xi is equal to 0. 0 it means like we calculate by column. So now we will be calculate the array rows elements means. So right here is 3.8 and 3 and 8, yeah. Yeah, and also the third one is extract the second columns. So still we use the so in the NumPy the 2 division slicing is first one means the row, second one means the column. And once we see this one appear singly, which means select all the row. And now we right here is 1, which means we select the index equal to 1 columns, which is actually the second index, second columns. So now we print that one. It will come out 2 and 7 right here. And now the last one is create a new array with even numbers only. And now right here, this one means we calculate each element in the array. Now they what they rest. If they divided by 2, the rest is 0. Is 0, then it's true, unless it's false. So now right outside also put array, which means we call them as a mask, like the Boolean tuple as a mask, then come back to the original tuple, and only the true value, only the which is even value can keep and come out. So it's like a two yeah. So this is also Python building function. Yeah, you can understand like that. Yeah, but yeah. So that's all the answer right here. Now we will move on to the pandas. So pandas is an open source Python library providing a high performance data manipulation and the analysis to use this really powerful data. And also we should ask them inside like input the pandas, and we call them PD. And in pandas, the most important idea is data frame. So let's say it's like the sheet in the Excel. Now we need to put a list of numbers into the pd.dataframe this place, and it will automatically help us to build a table which have the row number and the columns number. Now, yeah, so you can just print right here, and you can see it already automatically give us the index, right? The row from 0 to 4, and the column is 0. If you didn't define anything, that it will default doing like that. So now we all know the table should have the name. Like the first one, we specifying the columns for the people's name and the age, and we tell the pandas the columns that the first one means name, and the second one is age. Then we print out our data frame, can see what's changed. Now we have the name, right? The column name have the name, and the second column have the name age. So that one is what we just defined. And this way is the more common way to create the data frame is what we just learned in previously is dictionary. So name will be one column, age will be one column, and not only do like that, we also can use the index. So we move to the second example. So now we still have the name Tom, Jack, Steve, Ricky, and age 28, 34, 29, 42. And then now we put the index rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, and it will automatically change the index right here. You can see it show right here. So it's super flexible. You can add in anything you want. So that's the two way to editing. And now we move on more practical ways about the data cleaning and the future engineering in pandas. So in the real world instance, most of the work will involve cleaning and preparing data before virtualization and modeling. And no, actually, we just yeah. Anyway, we already improved this package before. I just want to reminder right here, or someone maybe get lost and restart right here. That's fine also. So now we create a sample data set like a reward because like in a real world data, people will forget put their maybe name or the age or the salary or the department. So now we look like leave some non-value right here and also to make the data and put them in a data frame, and you can see the data frame will be look like that. And so the first one we put the age right here is the non-value, and the salary here is also a non-value, and the department also is have a non-value right here. So yeah, to see how we handling the missing value. So now the first one is to checking the non-value just directly. So it's like a calculate all the non-value. It's like if it is non-value, it will appear true right here. You see, so it will go over all the table, and the second one we add some. So maybe this table is pretty small, but if you have a huge table, but you also want to know how many non-value you have, so you can add a sum right here after the is none function. Then it will come out to tell you which uh which column have how many non-value. So yeah, super simple right here. And now to see how we handling the non-value, we have two ways. One is drop one, or another one is filling. So we use a drop non, which if this row have non-value, we delete it. So you can say this super straightforward and super easy, but you see our data only have like three left. So that's not what we want, right? But that's a way, right? And then we also can drop the missing value by columns. Now we define if the subset in the subset age, if it is non-value, then we can delete it. So back to the original table. Okay, the Carey age is non-value. After we do the move, you can see the Charlie is gone. Is no more, no exists more in our table. So this you can define drop the missing by columns. Now we move on to filling the missing value. So right here, so if they are missing, we can fill in many different ways. We can just to type in give them mean value. Right here we define if the age, if the age is like a, so first things we want to copy the data frame. Okay, we don't want to do any change in our original data frame, so we just copy a new one, and in the new one we do the move like if the age is missing, we just give like a mean number of the age. So Charlie have an age. So then Charlie will have an age really weird, 31.2 years old. So and also we can just simply give them the non-value of 0. Like right here, we want to change the non-value in the salary column, then we just fill in 0. So that's really also simple and straightforward. And now we also move on to the remove the duplicates. Sometimes maybe the system like have some trouble. Maybe the user click the submit twice, needs the duplicate the data. Now we use the duplicate can tell us which row is totally duplicated. And now we just use the function and okay, it already tell me the fifth line is true, which is Alice. Yeah, Alice appear twice, and the data is exactly same. And now we want to remove this is also really simple. Just drop duplicate, and the last duplicate Alice will be dropped. So you can see that one anymore, and that is duplicate. And also you can remove based on the specific columns, like maybe in the name, the Alice name appeared twice, right? So you say I define the subset name in if the name have any duplicate, just drop it. So right here you see based on we define the subset name, and then it finds the last one is duplicate, and then it's dropped. So we can use the name to find out which one is to see if they have any duplicate. And about the future engineering part, we can create a new columns. It's like if you use Excel before, you can just like you pull the table behind have new lines, these kind of things. But now it's more gentle, more simple. You just hi, we define the bonus, and what is bonus is the salary multiple 0.1. So you can see they have a new column called bonus, and it's based on the salary. The salary is if the base salary is 50,000, the bonus will be multiple 10%, which is 5,000. And now we also can define the new column right here. We call the high salary. If the salary is more than 52,000, then we call it a high salary. And now it actually help us to define if it is high salary or not. So obviously, if it is, well, it will come out true, and if it's not, it will come out false, right? Now we move on to apply function. The apply function is really interesting. Do you guys still remember the previously we made the function? We now we make a function to define the salary level, and use the apply function, which means if the person write down their salary, it will automatically to put in the salary level and to give them a division. Now we define we define if the number put inside the salary level is more than 55,000, we return high, and if the more than 50,000 is median, if something else, just low. So we define a new column called salary level, and we put the salary and we apply the salary level for the whole column of the salary. Then we come out a new table. It will be look like that, and you say it automatically have the new column called the salary level, and the salary level is connected with the salary. Yeah. Although if non-value, we still will give them a low, so because it's the else situation. Now we move on to the filtering data. So it's also simple, just like if we want to find out the IT department, we just to tell the data frame if the data if the department equal to the IT, then it will automatically come out the related data. And also you can have more complex ruler like age more than 30 and also salary more than 50,000, then it will come out the data is meet all the requirement. So that's it. So it's for the filtering data. Okay, so now we are moving on to the group by operation. It's like sometimes maybe some students maybe you use the Excel table pivot table before. So this is a Python version, and this means like everyone is divided by the department and add them all salary and give them a mean value. So just one line code and all the average salary for the different departments come out. So that's it right here. So sorting means like ranking them and to assigning force is not start from small to the big. It's like from the high to the low. So it will and it's by salary. So it will come out the salary from the highest one to the lowest one. So this is the sorting. So now we are considered to the question 3, and and also have the couple question, and I will give you 5 minutes to do that, and we will come back to go over by one. Okay, let's go over the question three one by one. And the first one is select all the role where the department is IT. And then now we ask the different the department equal to IT to have a list of the Boolean number to define each line, each row is belong to the IT or not. And also we do the data frame like filter. We only keep the result is true. So then we will print out the each row. So now we define the Charlie is IT and the Eva is IT, so we only will keep the information. And the second one is calculate the mean salary of the each department. So now we group by the departments, which means all the data will be divided by the group by the department. And now we want to after the divided, we only will pick the salary and the put the salary to in the mean value, like calculate the mean value of the salary, and then we print out. Well, we will know the mean salary for the different department. And the third one, we will add a new column bonus, which is 10% is the salary, is also to define a new column bonus, and which is salary multiple 10%. And the super symbol, we just print out the new data frame will come out, have a new column called a bonus, which is 10% salary. Is I think we have talked this before. And now the last one is find out the maximum age in the data frame. So is super simple. Is just to select the age columns and use the max function to find out the maximum number of the age in this column. So we can see the maximum column right here is 45. So the come out the maximum age is 45. So now we will have a actual question. So now still removing the row with the missing value in salary and filling the missing value in age and with the mean and then remove the duplicate row and then create a new column text 20% of salary and then create column senior where age more than 30 and find out the average salary per department. Yeah, so this one I still will leave like a 5 minutes right here to let you go over each question. Okay, let's go over the actual question. So basically, the first one is to drop the missing salary. So we use the drop the function and we define the subset equal to the salary, which the if the columns is in the column salary, if the non-value, and we will drop the related data. And the second one, we are filling the age. So we are filling the age with the mean value. So basically, we will to find out the age. Um, Basically, we will use the first one to calculate the um all the effective age mean value and put them in the the place have no non-value in the age columns. And the second one is to remove the duplicate row. So this in simple, we just remove the duplicate. So it's like go over the all the table. If have the exactly same two row or multiple row, we just keep one, and to delete the duplicates one. And the second one, the next one is the text column. Is also we define the salary multiple 20% is a new like a text column, then they will come to the last one right here. So it will relate to the salary and either we adding a new feature. And the next one is senior column. We want to create a column senior where the age more than 30 years old. And we define the in the data frame we define the age if the more than 30 years old, then it will actually it will return a true or false value. So it will to as the new column seniors elements in the data frame. So it will look like this one. Okay, the last one is to find out the average salary per department. Um, is also to group by the department and select the salary and calculate the mean value. And is like what we mentioned before. So just bring out the result and we can see the average salary per department is like that. We like we mentioned before. Yeah, I think it's same with what we just showed before. So let's move on to the next part. So now we come to the Matplotlib lab, and I believe some of you guys maybe learned this before. So I think we already have class like 1 hour and a half, 30 minutes. What about like we can take a 10 minutes break, then come back? Okay. Once we come back, we will start the data virtualization library part. Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's go over the Matplotlib this section. And before we start, we need to prepare the data points. So right now we use what we just learned, NumPy library. We use the NumPy range 0, 3.5, which means start from 0 and to 3 at the end, and then each step is 0.5. So you can see we create the array is 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. So that's what we create. Now we need to input our like a matplotlib and give them a nickname PLT. And we have need a more details data points. So here is 0, 3 numpy pi 0.1. So here the 3 multiple numpy pi, which means like a 3 multiple pi. The pi is in math is like 3.14. Uh, and and now we calculate each x size value. So we use the NumPy to help us to calculate each x correlated sign value. And then now we can prepare the x axis point and the y axis point will be ready. So after that, we will start to draw the picture. So now you see we define the x is the this one, and the define the y is this one. And now you can see this line code means like we are you can say arrange our plot. We tell the computer, say, hey, help me to prepare a size like a with wide is 10, height is 10, big table. And next we use like a magic word to tell them put the prepared x and y points in the prepared table, and plot it, and use one line to combine them. So you can see now we have just what we have right here, and let's go over more detail, more complex plotting. We normally your leader or your manager see the picture definitely cannot be just like that, right? You have to put on the name, the x label, y axis label, and make the plot more meaningful, right? So now we calculate a new y value, say the y cosine. We also ask the NumPy to help us to calculate the x cosine value, and we write down 2 times of plot plt dot plot. So which means right here the matplotlib is default to plotting in a same table. If you didn't switch, it will cover to each other, and also really smart to help you change the color. You can see the sign is blue and the cosine is orange, and you put the x label. Just simply put the x label, and you can also put the y label right here. Yeah, if you write down here, it will appear right here, and also give the title sine and cosine, and then you can just come on. Okay, yeah, let me reconnect. Yeah, it take too long time, so no worry. Um, so this here is like we put like a a note right here to tell them the blue one is sine value and the original one is cosine value. So let's move on to the step plots. So for this one, it's still like the first one. We prepare the data point that we need, like what we did before, and now we will set up like you see right here. So this means like you can say we are cutting a cake. The first we want to cut the first one means like we want to cut them in one one row, and the second one is two, which means by the two column which have like a left side and right side is two area, and the first one is means like now we are doing something in the first part, which is the left part to plotting. So the next step plot and title part is only will be made in the first plot, like the left side right here. So the right here we plot the real symbol is the x y sign value, and we give them name sign value right here. After we finish the left part, we will set up the right part. So we just change the number 1 to 2 right here to define to let the matplot say, hey, we want to do the right part, and also we put the y cosine value here, and also give a title cosine. And now if you this one is like a show the figure, the plot show, then just show the figure. Then yeah. So now we move on to the question part. So use the following code, generate a plot for both sine and cosine function on the same graph. And therefore part plot both the sine and cosine curve on the same graph, and label the x sine, say angle, and the y sine function value, and add a title to the graph, sine cosine waves, and add a legend to the differential between the sine and cosine curves. So I still will give you like 5 minutes and to go over this question. Okay, let's go over the question 4. So the first one, we want to plotting the sine and cosine curve. So simply we just to use the PLT dot plot to getting the y, x, and the x, the data point, and to give them a label. At the same time, we will draw the line. So now because you didn't use the dorsal to make a new, so it just combine to this will default put in a picture like that one, like this one. Now the second one as a label, just simply to define the x label, it's called the angle radians, and the y label is the function value, and give the title. It's also simple, just use the matplot and the title sine cosine waves, and the adding legend is also just plot legend and display the plot, just plot show. So super simple, super easy, and basically, if you put on the legend right here, Matplotlib will automatically find the plots, labels, elements, what you made, and in the corner of the plot to have a small note, right, like this one. And user show it means like okay, I finished, and please help me to generate and to jump out the final plot window, like that one. So that's the Matplotlib section, and yeah, there is 3 link, and is about the package documentation. If you have any interest, you can just click and to learn more about the NumPy, Pandas, and the Matplotlib. They are pretty old school, and it kind of you can learn more if you go over their documentation. But now we will all to move on to the Seaborn. Seaborn will be more exciting, and it provides a high-level interface and drawing attractive and informative statistical graphic. Um, Still, we will input the Seaborn as SNS, aka SNS, and now we set up the style. We say we want the white growth, which means the style is like a white background, have light line over the background, look really fresh and professional. And we use the building dataset. It's called the tips. That's a true and the business data set is the server in the restaurant receive the tips records. And also the this one I think everyone have seen this in the pandas is like to see the first 5 lines of the data frame, and you can see right here the data is overlooked like total bill, tips, sex, smoker, day, time, size. That's really super straightforward, right? And now we want first thing we will understand the data set. So everything you once you get have the data set, the first step you want to see the how big it is. Does they have any non-value? So now you can just use the function say info. You can see the overview of the dataset, and then move next. You can use the describe will immediately to calculate all the numbers in the columns, their mean value, maximum, minimum value. After that, we will start to calculate the. We will use the Seaborn to do the plot. So now the first step we want to see the data set how it look like in the table. So like imagine if you are the boss of the restaurant, you want to know the customer come here to have a dinner, usually how much they spend. You will use the histogram to show it. So that's really simple. You see, we just tell them everyone use a history plot, and to give them the data, and the x is the total bill, and the Katie Katie is true. So notice about that one. So that one, which means like not only about the um right here have the pedal, we also have a curve. Yeah. So this curve is like a cover over this these mountains lets us to see most of the customer spend is around 10 to 20 here, right? They have more like understand, and also give them a name distribution of the total bill, and just also you have to have this one to show it, so it will look like this one. If you think this have such things too messy, you just want to see the curve, you can use another way. You can use the SNS kit plot. So you use the fill tool, it will help you to fill in color under the curve, have more quality, and also give the name is called so-called KDE of the total view, and also show it. So that's the two different way. And now we want to find out the relationship between the variable. It's like if the spend more, have a higher bill, maybe the server will have more tips. So now we need to scatter plot. So the x is total bill and y is the tips. Each point, each dot in the picture is actually a customer. So it's meaningful. Now, and you can see we use a define right here, and we still use our data frame, and the x is the total view, y is the tips, and we can have have some sense about the relation between the total view and the tips. Yeah. Not only about that, we can also use the hue, like put the color in the dot. So we know have the different like the tips have maybe different range, different percent during the lunch time or dinner time. Like normally maybe lunch you give like 15 or least, and the dinner you maybe get 18, right? So 18% of your bill, right? So it can be have a slightly difference. So if you only have blue, you can't see the relation between the different time. So we put if you add the color this one behind the code, we will see the relation between the different time because we define user time to put different color. And now we can change the title name maybe total bill with tip by time. So you have more. So now imagine you are the manager, you will see okay the who spend more give higher tips is almost right here. You see almost is for have a dinner, right? So like lunchtime they cost less and have less tips. So that's common. That makes sense, right? So now if you think this kind of plot is not that straightforward, you can't see the trend, no worry. The Seaborn still have something to show you. You can use the rec plot. So rec plot is not only to plot the plot the points, it also will use the inner mathematical way to help you to draw the best line. Even they have you see the uh even even here they have the some area is in like a light blue, it means like a maybe some distance, and also automatically give you a line, just have some idea about that. So now we move on to the catering plots, category plots. So now this is the really common box plot. Um, so you see, so imagine like now. So imagine like now, maybe as you are manager or boss, I want to see from Thursday to Sunday which day is have the best total bill or have the is the best day for me. Now we will use the box plot. So you see the colorful box right here. So it's already have like a maybe that day is 50% normal people, and the middle line here is a median number. And you see the range right here, the line extended is actually the maximum and the lowest spend. And you see there have a couple point right here. This area is actually is outlier. Is maybe some super rich guy have spent lots of money on their dinner. So yeah, so when we take a glass right here, we can see uh the Saturday and Sunday's box obviously is higher, which means people will spend more money on their dinner during the weekend. If you think this box plot is too, if you just don't like it, no worry, we still have a violin plot. We just use a different word right here. All other things the same, and you see maybe more um directly. So you just turn the box plot to a violin look like um more fast place means spend more money. Mm, so that's also really just personal choice. If you more likely this one, that's fine too. And if you just want to see the average spend, then we will use the most used bar plot. Also, just change the bar plot right here like this one. Yeah, so that's the most classic one and the easiest one, back bar plot. Now we'll move on to the matrix plots. So, um, when you see there are so many numbers in the table, you might well think, how do I know the relationship between the variable? The first things we will use use the pandas is called a core to help us to calculate the coincidence, related coincidence. Then we'll put them in the Seaborn's heat map and use the add the note true, and the picture will show the details number. If the number is more close to one, which means the two variable is more related. You can see the total bill and the tips is is really light. It's like a 6.8%, which means they are really high correlated. So now we use the pair plot. That's the most important in the Seaborn. Sometimes we don't want to like draw such plot. We just need one line right here, just pair plot, and we want to divide it by their different type. You put a different color. You can put a different variable sex, maybe time, something. That's fine. And Seaborn will put all the numbers in the table come out and combine them to have a like a plot table. So it have yeah. Um, so you see right here they have the distribution and in another table with scatter plot and give we already define the hue for sex right here, so it divided by the different gender, male or female. So now if you once you get a new data and you have no idea about which plot I need to use, just use this one. Then will help you to at least have something to see, right? Yeah, now this is just slightly change a little bit styling. This one is just change the style to the dark road and the plus is pasta. So you just change the style. So it's not a big deal. So you can just learn it. And now we move on to our question 5. So now we want you to plot the distribution and create the scatter plot between total bill and tips, create a box plot, create the violin plot, and generate a correlation heat map. So I still will give you like 5 minutes to do the question 5, then we will go over it. Okay, let's go over question 5. So the first one for the distribution is super simple. It also ask the Seaborn to have the histogram, and you define the tips and the KD equal to true. And I just do a real quick research. The KD, the full name is currently destiny estimate. It will have more clearly to see the wave of your data. Yeah, so it will be look like that. Yeah. And the second one, you want to plot the scatter plot. If you use the DF as the data, it will automatically to find out the X and Y in your data frame. And then you can just say total bill and the tips. So it will look like that. And also box plot is same is X value we give because we want both the tips by day, right? So we want to see um the X is day and the Y is tip. And the violin we want to total bill by sex, right? So still we use the data from our data frame and the X is sex and the Y is total bill. So it will clearly to see like that. Basically violin is like a similar like the box plot. You just want to see which plate. You see the curve, see the outlook to see how fast it is to see the density of the data. And then the last one is a heat map. Heat map is like a um basically you use the pandas to calculate all the two numbers related matrix and you use the matrix to convert to the heat map. If the number more light is more big, then it will like a more light or you can see right here is more if the more less is more dark. So um annotation true means like this is means annotation and it enforces the heat map where each color block have the details value. So that's all about the plotty. So all about Seaborn, yeah. So basically Seaborn to simplify the static visualization, it works directly with the pandas data frame. And we just mentioned the distribution, we will use the his plot, kid plot. And if we want to see the relation, we will see the scatter plot, reg plot. If we want to see the categorical we will see the box plot, the violin plot is the reason. If we want to see the correlation, we will see the heat map. And basically, the Seaborn is mainly used for EDA, exploit data analysis. And now we will move on to the next section is for the plotty. It's an interactive visualization library in Python. It allows user to create a journal, make interactive plots that support zooming, hovering, and filtering. So let's make example like if the matplotlib is like you use a pencil to plot. The Seaborn is like you print maybe some flyer the plotty will be the most like advanced like it's like you can say see this one in the cyberpunk these kind of things in a real world like a data analyst work if we want to give our customer or our leader manager to see the dashboard basically in the back end is all the empowered by the plotty so now we want to the dead data to be live. So basically now we will be a little different with previously. The first one we need to install the plotty. Basically before we use a like a NumPy, Matplot, Seaborn. It basically is default by installed by the platform. But if we use something library we don't have, how should I know? We just pipe install. That's fine. It's like you use the App Store in your iPhone to download some app. It's like you tell the computer, say, hey, you help me to download the plotty. Then we will to import once we download this one, we will ask input our library and we also, the name is super long, right? So we will give them a short name, just PX, okay? And so we will use the same data set. We use the pandas and to load, just use the tips data set. And still we will see the head first few line we just here see before. So basically, I mentioned before why plotty basically is interactive and better presentation and dashboard and widely used in the dataset. Yeah. So you see right here is a scalar plot, and to be honest, I think the grammar is not that difficult. They still tell them, hey, I will use PX, use the plotty, and use the Scott. Yeah, everyone know what it is, and use our data frame, and the X is the total bill, Y is the tip bill. But the difference is like once you mouse over the data, it will tell you the number of the total bill and the tips. You see, the grammar is super similar like the Seaborn, and we ask the computer to draw this one. But the difference, like we put them in a figure, and figure show it. But just you see my mouse who hover the data points, and you can see the difference, right? They will jump out the window and to tell us the number of the bill and then the tips. If the previous one we can compare, they don't have yet, right? They just can see the trend, cannot see the more details of the data. Besides that, we also can put the color inside, like the Seaborn, use the is also more similar. So right here in Plotty, we just call it color. It's more straightforward, right? And divided by time, yeah. And in the Seaborn, we use HUE. So now you see we define the color equal time, and the lunch and dinner is divided like what we did before, and you can see even the jump out the window color is changed. Yeah, you see, if you click the launch, yeah, you see, is yeah, click here and the dinner is disappear. Yeah, you see, all the things disappear. Yeah, yeah. So it's like a more interactive ways, have more fun, right? Yeah, I just want to see the dinner just like that. If you want to see the lunch, we can click out the dinner. Yeah. So it's like interactive building, I think is that name. And also we can start with the size. Basically, we just like add a new variable, say, okay, I want size by size. So um you can see like that. It's like a bubble chat. Uh, Basically, we add a division side by side means like if more people in the dinner they have the bigger size of the bubble. So which means like we use one picture or one plot right here to see four division idea, and you see the days, you see the size of the how many people, you see the tips, and you see the total bill. So that's really amazing. That's the amazing place for the data visualization, right? One picture but have lots of different meaning. And also you can click here to display the bubble. If I just want to see the Friday and they're here, and then once my mouse hover the data, it will come hover the bubble, it will come out the more details, right? If we want to compare the certain day, just want to compare the let's say Sunday and Saturday, like compare the weekend, and it will come out. If what about like uh maybe add on Thursday, Friday. Yeah, so just can play around, and you see the bubble is actually is different size, right? If set two is like this one, like a small one, but if like a five is much bigger than two, right? Two or three, right? Okay, so let's move on to the distribution plots. So you see this our old friend histogram, and the n bins equals to 20 means like we put all the total bills based on the how big they are, and arrange put in 20 bins, and once you mouse or go over, you can clearly to see the in the between $15 to $20, these bins have how many customer. You see it right here is like a six, seven, right? And if we add on the color stacks, even we can in the same bins, we can have like a um man and the woman's retail cover to each other to see see the difference, right? Yeah, and also you can click here to see if you want to see certain sex. Now we move on to the categorical plots. Um, in the previous Seaborn, the back plot just like a dead plot, right? But in the plotty, if you put your mouse in the box, it will tell you what's the median, what's the highest, what's the maximum, what's the lowest one, what's the outlier. If you do the operation reflection analysis, this will just tell you the details, really, really details, and that's the most popular one, you see. That will be more directly than the Seaborn one, right? And also the language is even more simple. It's really similar, like just box put the PX box and tell them what data you want to use and what's the X axis and the Y axis. It's super straightforward. And also if you want to add on the color, still just maybe just random to add a smoker, and it will tell you define like divided by the smoker, yes or no, and you tell you like two different box plot, and also tell you all the detail, what the highest value and the lowest value and the median outlier, these kind of things. Yeah, some especially if you're doing some reflection or analysis, this one will really helpful. And also the violin plot and the grammar is also similar. Just change the box for the violin, and you will show like that. And even you see you can move over and to have more details. And some outlier also right here. So that's about the categorical plot in the plotty, and we have the line plot. Mm. So line plot, you normally we want to see the trend based on the time. So the first one we will review what we just learned the pandas. We group by the data by the days and calculate the mean value for the daily bill and to have a totally new table. And we put the new table, put them into the plotty to connect to each other and add on the marks true, we equal to true, which means there will be more plot in the plot, have make the data point more visible. Yeah, just see the difference. If you don't add the marker equal to true, they won't have any point right here. But if you say it's true, just add some pointer here. Now we will move to the heat map. So in the plotty, if you want to draw some correlation heat map, you will the meaning is like a PXM show, and the text auto equal to true will automatically to put the related number in the box, and the color continuous color is what do we want to choose this color this panel. You can change it to another one, yeah. And this one, but the red and blue can is more common, can directly to see the positively related or negatively related. And now do like in the map plot, I make example like you cut a cake, use the subplot to draw different plot. The code is super long and super complex, but in the plotty, you just need to add one value, which is this one. So this one means like please divide it by time, like lunch and dinner, these two time, automatically to put the picture into left and the right side two picture, one line to figure out the complex compare slicing what I made in the matplot lab. So that's the power of the modern tool, right? Okay, now that's the last step. Once we want to handle this picture to our boss or our manager, if we made a picture just by default, they don't have some professional title, we use the update layer out to give them name, the title, the x title, y-axis title, and also show them now it already can maybe put embedding in your automation in your company's automations, like maybe weekly report or web system, your web page. So yeah, that is about the customization. Yeah. Okay, so now we move on to the question 6. Um, I believe you already know this one. So now just create a scatter plot for total view vs tip and add color based on time and create a histogram of total view, create a box plot of total view by days, create a heat map by correlation. And I still will give like 5 minutes. After that, we will go over the each question. Okay, let's go over the question 6. So basically, the question asked the first one wants us to create a scatter plot and based on total view vs tips. And now we still use the PX, what we just property to create a scatter. And the data set we use is just our data frame. And the X value is total view and Y view is tip. That's straightforward. And you will see right here the yeah right here, and once you click it will come out the um picture, and actually it's so you while you need like picture is like you need to inside the notebook to picture the it's like a interactive HTML part. So if you have want to learn something like for and the information is like that. So the second one is scatter with color, which means we want to add color based on time. So basically, just put the color behind the code, say color time, which we will based on the time columns value, lunch or dinner, to automatically to put the color on the data. Then Plotty will also make the interactive picture, and you can also click here to hide or make it appear. Yeah. So that's second question. The third one is a histogram. So basically, you just px histogram and use the data frame, and the x is the total view. Okay, it will look like that one. And when you hover the this one, you will to see the um division, the more details, like how many they have between the interval, like how many numbers between them, between the total view. So it's really clearly to see. And also, the next one is create a box plot of total view by day. So basically, also just use the box for the box plot, and still use our data frame and the X is the day because we want the like a total view by day, right? So then now Y changes the total view. So still same, like we divided them by day and also hover the box, we can see the more details, the maximum, the minimum, the some outlier you just need to hover the point. So also there's this one, and the next one is the heat map for the correlation. So basically we need to calculate. So basically um we you still use the PXM show, which is like use the matrix data is equal to the Seaborn heat map, and the ticks auto equal to 2, which is like the Seaborn's annotation equal to true, the same function, and which means like automatically put the details number over the heat map. So it's right here, and also you move over, you can see the relation between different variable, and obviously the high value have more high positive correlation, and also yeah. So basically the um that's the heat map part. Okay, so that's all about the today's information. Now we want to summarize the key takeaway. Um, so for this part, the property is used to interactive virtualization, and as you see, it is sport zooming, moving, filtering, and it's really common using the dashboard and the presentation. And it's like a complements Seaborn. Basically, it's like EDA vs the presentations difference. Okay, so now we all been here, like that's all about today. So summarize, we start from the basic mathematic operation, add, delete, divide, multiple, and index 0 to now is use the plotty to draw some business levels data dashboard. You already have some entry information about the programming and the data virtualization. So as you see now, the programming is not just like you remember some complex grammar. It's more likely to have some ability to solve the problem, have some idea to solve the problem. Once you like you it might be appear to our exam or not. I'm wondering, so like if in the exam you meet some dirty data, you need to use the pandas to cleaning if you want to see the trace, see the um like um maybe you use the Seaborn, right? If you want to have see is go up or down, see some trend. And if you want to do the presentation dashboard, you use the plotty. If you forget what the details code, how to write, but that's fine too. You can just see the documentation and learn how to thinking like an engineer, right? And nowadays the AI tool is super straightforward, but if you can learn something behind the code, you at least you know what they are doing, right? What the code doing. So congratulations to everyone finish your first time, maybe this class first time Python intro level. And that's all about the day. So if you have any questions, you can leave right here and ask me or shoot me an email after the class. So now you guys can feel free to leave. Thank you guys for your time for today. Yeah, glad to see you. Thank you everyone. Bye. Hope everyone have a good night. Yeah, remember to submit your complete notebook on Canvas and check the Canvas for announcement for class or after class.